Oh boy, it's been a little while since I've done a review. How do you do this again? Step 1, talk about movie. Step 2, be funny. Hello everybody, it's good to be back. Yes, I do apologize that I've been away for a couple of weeks. Well, I haven't really been away. I've been right here, but I've just been really super busy, and to be honest, there hasn't really been a lot of movies that inspired me to want to go and see them and review them, unlike Deadpool 2. So Deadpool 2 was directed by David Leitch, who was partially responsible for directing John Wick, and Ryan Reynolds is back as the titular character Deadpool, aka Wade Wilson, the merc with the mouth, the man who cannot die. And this time around, Josh Brolin, fresh from the set of Infinity War where he was Thanos, of course, is a character named Cable, who's a time-traveling guy sent back in time to kill a kid played by Julian Dennison, that really awesome kid who we all know and love from Hunt for the Wilder People and the Lynx commercials. And Wade Wilson kind of gets involved in this whole storyline, and there you go, you got yourselves an action movie. It was more of a comedy, really. So the first Deadpool was a refreshing surprise for everybody. I mean, this was a movie that was highly anticipated, and when it came out, it did huge at the box office. It was such a great movie. The movie involved a character that constantly broke the fourth wall and talked to the audience. It was full of meta humor. It was, Ryan Reynolds playing this character who's talking about Ryan Reynolds and, all this sort of stuff. And so the sequel, was equally as anticipated. And I'm happy to say, on most accounts, it definitely delivered. I had such a great time watching this film. I mean, it is one of those movies that you go along to be entertained, and I was solidly entertained for the whole 2 hours. In terms of what I liked about it, I liked that the plot sort of went a little bit bigger this time. It involved a few more of the X-Men, kind of ones that we haven't seen, ones that we have seen. And overall, the whole story of this guy coming back to kill this kid, a la Terminator, it was very engaging. You're constantly wondering, okay, what's exactly happening here? And I dug the story. And the humor, oh my god, this movie is so freaking funny. There are so many references to the first film. There's some really awesome gags relating to the first one. So yeah, if you haven't seen the first one, I definitely recommend checking that out first. And there was one really great gag in particular that explains why you never see any of the X-Men around the X-Men mansion, which, my god, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. There's some fantastic cameos in this film. Not a spoiler, of course, but like Brad Pitt is in this movie for maybe not even 2 seconds. And for the love of all that is cinematic, stay till the mid-credits. Oh man, there is a mid-credits scene in this film that ranks up there probably with the best I've ever seen. I'm not kidding. It has the best mid-credit scene. It was the funniest moment of the entire film. I'd kind of recommend staying to the very end as well, because it was just a cool piece of music that was, it was funny. You'll know what I mean. And I thought the performances were really good. Josh Brolin as Cable, I thought was great. He wasn't just this straight-up badass. He did have a little bit of depth to him. And I mean, the guy's just come from playing Thanos in Avengers Infinity War, which, I mean, that performance, albeit motion captured, was just out of this world. And yeah, this time around he delivered another solid performance. But I gotta say, one of my absolute favorite characters in this film was Domino, whose superpower is essentially being lucky. I thought the way that they incorporated that into some of the action scenes and stuff was actually really creative. And yeah, I just liked that, she was someone who has something a bit different. So in terms of what I wasn't really happy with this movie, not much, but the one thing that really bugged me, and again, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, one of my most favorite aspects of the first film was the relationship between Wade Wilson and Vanessa Carlyle, played by Marina Baccarin. I just loved the way their relationship was written. I loved that whole thing of, going through a year of, various sexual activities They were just such a great couple, and I didn't really like the way their relationship was done in this film. Because going into it, that was one of the things I was really looking forward to seeing, was where their relationship was at and how things were progressing and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wasn't quite happy with how they did it. And I also thought, in a way, this movie, like, they tried to give it some substance, they tried to give it some heart, but for me it just fell short of the mark a little bit. Like, I thought the first movie actually had a more compelling storyline in terms of making you feel something for the characters. Like, I get what they were going for with this one. It's this whole thing about family, a la Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and every Fast and the Furious movie ever made. But yeah, I just thought it just fell short a little bit. And a common gripe with a lot of films these days, some of the CG just wasn't very polished, particularly when characters are fighting and things are moving around quickly. Like, I don't know, there's just something about movement, like fast movement of people and objects when they're CG, that it just doesn't look right. And there are a couple of moments that took me out of the film a little bit. And the only other thing, I thought the editing was a little bit messy in parts here. Particularly, like, there was one scene involving Cable and Weasel, played by TJ Miller, and you just kind of wonder, like, hang on, how did they get here all of a sudden? There were just a couple of moments in the film that I just thought jumped a little bit too much. And look, it might have been some deleted scenes that have been cut out or something like that, but yeah, it just sort of left me scratching my head just a little bit. But here's the thing, if you love the first movie, which, let's face it, most people did, you're gonna love this one as well. It was almost as good as the first one, I thought. It definitely gives you a solidly entertaining and funny time at the movies, and I'm gonna give Deadpool 2 an 8 out of 10. Alrighty, so over to you guys. I'm sure by now you've seen Deadpool 2 because, let's face it, everybody has. And I'd love to know what you thought of it. Did you like it as much as the first one? Not quite as much as the first one? Let me know which one you preferred. And stay tuned on my channel because I'm going to catch up with everything that I've been meaning to do, such as drawing a competition for the pop vinyl I was giving away in my Avengers Infinity War review. And also, I haven't done a Blu-ray update in, I don't know how many months now. It's been a while, so I got some catching up to do. And aside from that, I'm off to see Solo tomorrow night. I get to see it a week early because I have a YouTube channel. So I'll have a nice early review of that one. I'm planning on getting that one up on Friday night, so pay attention. So in the meantime, let me know what you thought of Deadpool 2. Drop me some comments either here or on Facebook. All the social media links are in the description below because I like to talk about movies and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.